Okay, everyone. Hey, all right. So we're gonna do the tail, and this takes a little bit. We're gonna be working. Here's your bottom bead here, and we're gonna be working with these 5 beads. There's 2 on each side and 1 right here at the bottom, and we're gonna be working on these. And how you find that, if you need to, is you come up from the white, 1, 2, and then you just go up. All right, so get that out of the way. You'll need a long strand of line. The tail takes up quite a bit, and until you get used to making it, you need to have long enough to where you know you can get through it, because it's a pain in the rear trying to tie off stuff on this tail. But however you feel most comfortable, that's what's most important. All right, so we're going to add 4 and go through 1 on the right. And when we first do this, this is not going to be anchored very well, so we're going to have to be, just like with the feet and the arms, you're just going to have to be careful to begin with, that you don't pull too much on one side or the other, so you make them uneven. Okay, and this is really long, so this is going to be a little bit, let me get this in here. And these, I had coated these ends yesterday, in hopes of getting this done yesterday, but I wasn't able to because of other things going on. Life. So we have 1, we just put on 4, we're going to go through 1. And this one right here. And just like with the arms, we may have to use an anchor because this body is really tight. And just untwist it if it gets twisted. And pull both sides so that you don't make one longer than the other. And it really quickly, it will go through what you want. So we just went through 1 on the left, and actually we're going to go through 2 on the left, and then we're going to go through 1 on the right. So sorry, I almost had this out of whack here. So 1 more. And this is really tight because you know how well we beaded this. So I'm just going to anchor that up a little bit, push a little bit up so I can get through that hole. And because my ends are painted, I may need to anchor it better than that. Because my ends are painted, there we go. It's a little tougher to get through that tight hole. Oops, I just pulled too much because I made them uneven. Okay, so, and now we're going to go through 1 on the right, taking my right one, and then go through it. Okay, and I'm going to pull both of them nice and taut. Okay, then number 2 is add 2 main color and cross through both of the beads and don't go through anything. So we're going to cross through both beads. And I literally watched this part of the video that she did a lot. I had a freeze frame on this one because I couldn't tell if she was going through both of them or not. And I finally caught it on one of the freeze frames that it was actually through both. And then when I got that part, everything else came together a lot better. All right, I'm still holding my ends because it makes it easier to go through all this long line. And see how it's getting a little, just let it unwind itself or untwist itself. Okay, there's 2, but we're not going to go through anything. All right, and then take our right side again and go on line 3 is add 4 main color and go through 1. See that one? See that one? Hold both your sides because it's so long. It's so darn long. Okay. And see how this wants to flip on you, and you're going to want to take your right one that's not what we want to do. It makes it seem like we want to take that right one, but we don't. Move your right one out of the way because it's a little bit discombobulated on these base beads because it's so tight. We're going to go through one, and it's the one where they're coming down and meeting each other. It's the one we would naturally go into right here. I'm going to hold my other side. And pull tight, and pull my other side tight. Okay. And this is we're gonna train this to curve the way we want it. Okay, I'm gonna take our right side again. Don't worry about it, it's gonna flip backwards on you or flip in different directions. It will go the way we want it in just a minute. Now we're going to add 4 again, and we're going to go through 2, over 1, and up 1. I need to get another bead. I didn't grab enough. We go down. Okay, so now we're going to go over and up 1. So don't worry about it popping up. We're going to go over and see it's wanting to stick on me. I'm actually hitting another bead. There we go. Over 1. Hold my other side. I'm going to pull them both tight. Over 1 and up 1. I give that a little bit of a just pulling it just a little bit, leaning it over, so to speak, so we can get that in there. That's coming out of identical sides like that. And yes, you have a bit of it being leaning, and you're just going to pull on those sides until it doesn't lean. And as we get going, it's going to tighten itself up. Okay. All right, so line 5 is add 3, go through 2. And then 3. This line is so long. This tail takes up as much as the body and head. Because we're like making this tower type of thing. Okay. We're going to go through 2. And that's 1. Okay, then you have, there's a group of beads that go down. We're not going to go on that one there. We're not going to come up underneath it. We're going to go over. So there's a bit of a gap between the 2. And that's 2. And that closed that gap. You can just pull those nice and snug, and it will close itself up. Okay, and then that's line 5. Line 6 is add 3 and go through 1. 3 go through 1? It's 4 there. There it is. And there we go. Okay. And so go through 3. I'm going to go through 1 right there. And pull our side nice and taut, you know, both sides. Okay, and that's number 6. Number 7 is add one number 2 main color, 2 main color, and 1 number 2 main color, and go through 2. So that add 1, and then 2, and 1 more. And I'm gonna have to let the dogs out. Hold on. Grab this here. And we're gonna go through 2. So there's 1 here. Possibly. There we go. I was wanting to, and then do 2. And pull that nice and snug. Okay, put you on hold real quick. Go get those dogs out. Okay, sorry about the wobbling the dog. All right, let me back this out just a little bit because I think you're too close to me. Sorry about the wobbly. There you go. All right. So we just did number 7. Now number 8 is add 2 main color and 1 number 2 main color and go through 1. So we're going to add 2. Oops. Not that one. 3. So we're going to the 3rd main color. All right, pull those down. The dog, I don't know if you can hear that or not. The dogs, they went in, they went out, they went in, they went out. All right, so there's that 1. And we're going to go through 1. Hold my other side, unwind it out of the ear or off the head, pull both sides, hold my work and pull my left side a little bit better, more though than I pull my right. And this is supposed to be curving. The tail is on an angle. It's a bent tail. I don't know why it's bent, but that's the way she made it. So, and if you have a way of making it not that way, let me know. My brain won't wrap around that right now. Maybe I'll figure it out later. I don't know why. Maybe it's so that you can see it. Maybe that's why if you're looking at it straight on, you can see the tail sticking out, I guess. I don't know. All right, so that was line 8. Line 9 is add 2 main color and 1 number 2 main color and go through 2. So I'm going to add 2 main color. we're going to go through 2. So there's a lot of line you're seeing there, but that's the way it is. Hold on. We're going to go through 2. There's where we're meeting. Don't skip over them like I almost just did. That's 1. I'm going to go through 2. Just going to have to kind of move the beads around a little bit to get through them. So if I'm moving it, my fingernail's getting in the way. Come on. Okay, hold it. Okay, that's line 9. Line 10 is add 2 main color, 1 number 2 main color, and go through 2. And there's a reference point here, and we'll get it just a minute. Okay. I'm going to go through this one here. It's 1. Whoops. And he went flying. It's a flying squirrel. Okay, there's 1, and then, okay, move that one over to my side because it's getting in the way. And then there's 2. Okay, and our reference point says, let me pull that nice and snug. Our reference point says we should have 1 main color and 1 number 2 main color next. And so we do. That's what's next. 1 main color and 1 number 2 main color next. Okay, now line 11 is add 2 main color and 1 number 2 main color and go through 2. And we should be coming out of the opposing side white, or your secondary colors on each side. So I'll show you what I mean in just a second. Hopefully I don't have as hard a time doing this step as I did the last step. Okay, so we're going to go through 1, 1, and 2. Pull that through and see how we're coming out the same sides, both those white ones. Remember what I said about not letting your fingers slide up and down them like I just almost did? Unless you want to get an Indian burn. Okay, so the next is add 2 main color and go through 1, and this will start the next row. Or finish this row and we'll be ready for the first. Bleh. We will finish this row and be ready for the new row. Okay. Okay. There we go. That's how it should look right now. You're coming out of the sides, both these 2 right here. All right. Now, line 13 is add 1 main color, 1 number 2 main color, 2 main color, and 1 number 2 main color. So 4 beads in total. And it will show you this in the, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time holding my beads today. I didn't drink too much coffee. Actually, I drank less coffee than I normally do. I'm like not jittery, just like I can't hold on to it. It's bizarre. All right, so we just added those 4. This is the beginning of that next row. We're going to go through 2. That's 1. That's 2. Just hold that. All right, line 14 is add 2 main color and 1 number 2 main color and go through 2. So we're going to add 2. 1, 2, 3. Get my other color. There we go. That's a little bit better. A little more addictive. I'm like getting mad at myself there. All right. And we're going to go through 2. So here's where they're meeting. So we're going to go through that one. And the one right next to it. Possibly. Hold my beads. Okay. See how that's starting to look? All right. Line 15 is add 2 main color and 1 number 2 main color and go through 2. So just repeating the last step. And I could have put repeat, but for me on this one, I was getting lost. So it just made it easier to write it all out to keep me, where I belonged. And we're going to go through 2. And there is a gap. Now, if you're using rondelles, just be careful because these ones that are coming up and down, they look, to me, when I was doing it, they looked a lot different. And so I was getting them confused with the row below it. So just be careful. There's 2. Okay, line 16 is add 2 main color and 1 number 2 main color and go through 2. So we're repeating that row again, or repeating that step again of that row. It's 1. I don't know if I told you this, I fixed my ring. This one ring right here, it snapped off. It wasn't my part that snapped off, it was the pre-made ring band. The pad part they give you where you're supposed to glue stuff to, that part popped off. So I glued it back to the ring using Loctite. I really like that stuff. I mean, Loctite, it really, jewelry wise, it's the gel, I just love it. And it's easier because it has that tube. It's easier to deal with than the 6000. E6000 has its places for sure. But that's 1. And I got 2 through 2. But I really, it's stronger now than it was with the little tiny weld, not weld, what do you call that? It's like a weld, but it's not a weld. They fused it together. I can't think of the word right now. But anyways, so they did that, and okay, pull your left side nice and taut. Okay, and then line 17, I have to go to my next page. So hold on a minute. We have about 11 more steps to be done, so yay. All right, so we're going to add 2 and same thing, but instead of 2, we're going to go through 3. We're going to add 2 main color, 1 number 2 main color, and go through 3. Let me see. Trying little different ways to pick those up. And these are not working really well for me. That third one here. I'm going to pull that down. and go through 3. So we should be coming out when we're done out of the same sides of the white beads again. That's 1. That's 2. Oh, I'm gonna get both of them. Yep, there's 3. So coming out of both sides. See that? Okay, line 18 is add 2 main color and go through 1 on the left. And we should have a total of 12 beads when we're done with this. 1. We're going to go through 1. Maybe. Okay, and I'm going to pull that nice and snug, both sides. Pull your left side. Okay, now we should have 12 beads. So there's 1, this is where this one's coming out. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Awesome. Give it a nice firm snug pull. We want to keep this nice and taut. We don't want this to get loose on us. The next step is add one number 2 main color, 1 main color, and 1 number 2 main color. So we have 1 number 2 main color, 1 main color, and 1 number 2 main color. And we're going to go through 2 on the left. And we are getting to the point where we're going to start closing up this tail, so we're going to go through more beads than we are hello, here we go. And I just got a little bit twisted there. We're going to go through more beads than we add. I could not get my words out. All right, so now it wants us to go through 2. So 1, and I can get this through there. There we go, 2. And hold our sides. This is the beginning of that new row. Okay, line 20 is add 2 main color and 1 number 2 main color and go through 2. So add 2 main color and 1 number 2 and go through 2. And I think I misspoke on that going through more. I think I got ahead of myself by a couple of steps. We will start getting there where we're, because it's closing it off, we will get there where we don't put as many on as we go through. Okay, so we're going to go through 2. That's 1, not down, just 1 bead. Nope, it's trying to go through a bottom bead. Here we go. There we go. There's 1, and there's 2. Give that a nice snug. Okay, and then line 21 is add 2 main color and go through and 1 number 2 main color and go through 2. So we're repeating the same line, repeating the same step. We can find a hole. It's 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to go through 1 and 2. like that. And then line 22 is we're going to add one main color, one number 2 main color, and go through 2. So we're adding one main color, oops, one number 2 main color, and we're going to go through 2. So we're going to go through 1 and 2. Okay, and then number 23 is add 2 main color and one number 2 main color and go through 3. And we should be coming out opposite sides again. That's where you pull that nice and tight. So 2 main colors. And I hope that these reference points help you too. Maybe you won't have a hard time. If any of you have, you know, a difficult time, let me know. If you're running into any snags or anything. But hopefully these reference points help you to, you know, understand where you're at. Okay, so we're going to pull that down. We're going to go through 3 now, and we should be coming out both white ones. So that's 1. Here's 2. Now see how this is right here? This is ending, and we know, don't go through that one. We're going to go up. And we know that because we can see the bead right next to it is, that's coming out. Hang on, let me get this. And then up. Because we see that's the next one in the row. We're moving up, around and up. See, they're coming out both sides. Okay, now we're going to add 2 and go through 2. 2 main colors, sorry. Add 2. And go through 2 on the left. That's 1. And then 2. That's 2. Add 3 main color and go through 2. That's 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to go through 2. Okay, we're almost done. That's 1, and that's 2, right like that, see? And then line 26 is add 2 and go through 3. I was a row ahead of myself before. Now we're adding fewer and going through more. Untwist out of it. It's curling up on me here. Here we go. Maybe. It's up too far away from the edge. Okay. Grab my ends. Pull down. If it's twisting on you, just let it go and then pick it back up. It'll untwist itself more times than not. Because now we're going to go through 3. Okay, So here's 1, 2, and 3. And untangle it off the head. Just pull it. Pull both your sides nice and taut. And pull your left side nice and taut, okay? You need to pull both because we're crossing back and forth. And so if you don't pull this side too, the other, it'll loosen up wherever it was at before too. So I'm gonna do them both. Okay, 27 is add 2, go through 3. There we go. Looking for the edge there. Add 2, go through 3. And there's 1, 2, and 3. Let me get that out of the way. 3. There we go. Pull both sides. And we're going to add 1 and tie it off. So we get this 1 on here. And I have, for myself, I can see I have a whole lot more line than I needed. So you can figure out for yourself what you need. I wanted to make sure I didn't run out because, you know, I didn't want to have to worry about going through all that in this beading project. Let me go and pull this down. See how we have that? And just going to come through here. And because this is the tail, we can get this where we're going to go through one, or actually, watch. Okay, we're going to go through this bead here on the right, and this bead here on the left, possibly this bead here on the left, right on the right still. We're going down though. Okay. So I went through this bead and this bead. Okay, and then I'm going to come with my left strand and I'm going to meet this bead. Oops. I'm going to meet this bead over there where they're coming face to face so I can tie them off. Come on. There we go. It's just that paint. And then we're going to come over here. It's trying to go through more than one. And you can kind of move up whatever you need to move them up. There we go. And then I'm going to come to this one here. I'm going to move them around, move them around. Okay, now they're coming out of perspective holes. And when you tie this nice and tight, it's going to tighten up the whole thing. Okay, so I'm going to pull this nice and tight. Now, if you want to, you can come down further and do that. Because of time, I'm just going to show you. This just went into 39 minutes, so I know it just kicked over to 2 videos, but it's okay. Okay. And then just go in and tuck your ends in, and then you have your squirrel. See? You'll hide your beads however you want to. And then, you know, these two, this one, and then my first one. So, not too bad. progressively speaking, I got better and better with every one of them, so I'm sure you will too. And my next step is I'm actually going to go for a smaller bead and maybe to do this in a gemstone. So first, you know, somebody special. All right, well, I hope that you enjoyed this beading video. I hope that you liked making this squirrel, and y'all have a blessed day.